So what happens if you're coming up upon that closing deadline and there are still documents out there that need to be submitted and holding up closing? There are so many entities involved in submitting documents for the whole transaction to go through that inevitably there are some issues. So as a buyer's agent, I will reach out to the listing agent and let them know, hey, we're waiting on some documents still. I'm hoping that it won't, that it may not be able to meet our closing date. What does your seller think about extending the date? An amendment to the contract can be written up. Typically, whoever's holding it up, that agent will write up the amendment and have both seller and buyer agree to it and sign off on it, and then submit it to the title company, lender, and attorney that needs to know. So then that amendment to contract supersedes the first closing date on the original contract, and that is the new closing date. Now, I've had several transactions this has happened with, but one in particular, 4 times we had to change the closing date, and it was the builder who was unable to get the city to sign off on it to get the certificate of occupancy. We had to keep extending it. Sometimes the seller doesn't want to do that, and the seller has every right to terminate if the closing date doesn't stay the way it is, and that is contingent upon them getting funding to get another house. But for the most part, the seller's not going to do that, because then they terminate contract, they got to put it right back on the market and start all over again. It could be 30, 60 days before they're getting funded again if they go under contract quickly again. Usually it behooves both parties to just extend it a little bit and have everything come through correctly and on time and just close a little bit later.